Today's card is all about the stamping, so I'm using my Tim Holtz Tonic Studio stamp positioner, and I have my stamp on here. Now I've coloured it with a little alcohol ink so that you can actually see it. It's always useful. And I'm going to start off with some very pale and light colours. Now I've put my piece of paper in the centre of here because I want to be able to keep my stamp in one position and just move the paper so that I get the stamp where I want it. And press down nice and firmly. There we are. So that's the first one. Now this paper has got a bit of tooth to it, so it won't actually look completely solid. You will get some texture left on it still. It up again. This one I'm going to actually do the same colour, but I'm going to move my paper and just stamp down again. And now I'm going to change colours. I think that's a change of colour, or is that the same one? I can't remember which one I used. That's not very helpful. Okay, this is the different colour. And these are just sort of like ink blot patterns, and so it really doesn't matter too much where they go. It's just for background, just a sort of an organic type of background if you want to be fashionable. Not that I generally am. Move that. I think I'm going to place that on there. So I've finished now with my yellow and orange. Just give the stamp a quick wipe. And I think I will go in with some pear tart, which is quite a vibrant limey green. And now I'm going to move the stamp in a different direction. Oops, got a hair in it. And I think I'll go for something round about there. I just pick that up. And I think I'll go for pistachio this time. I haven't bothered to clean my stamp off, so it'll be a kind of two-tone pistachio, as I expect. That's not a problem. This one is New Sprout. It's quite a nice colour though. It's not one I generally use, but I quite like it. And I think I'm going to do another bit over there with the New Sprout. another bit over here somewhere. Doesn't really matter too much where, I just want to get rid of some of the white that's there. There. Okay, so that's going to do it for my background stamping. So I can clean that stamp off. I now want to put it into a specific position into here so that I can do some repeat stamping if I need to repeat a stamp. Now I have here a leaf design. Now this is the whole leaf, and I know that this stamp is faulty because I was coming to the end of a bottle of gel and I thought I could just about get away with it, and I can't. So there are a few little dips in here. But because of the nature of the design, it really doesn't matter a great deal. I'm going to put that there and pick the stamp up. There we are. And I'm going to go for Olive Grove, which is a deep dark green, to contrast with these paler colours that I've got here. And for this one, because I know my stamp is faulty, I'm actually going to stand up and press down on it. It still isn't going to be solid, I suspect, but it'll get as close as I can to a solid stamp. Actually, that's not too bad. I'm going to go over that again. And then I need to let this dry before I do some heat embossing on here. There we are. So that's the first bit, and I've got some heat embossing to do. So I'm going to leave this for 10 minutes or so, go and have a cup of tea. So this has had a few minutes to dry off now, so I'm just going to take a little brushing of talcum powder over that, just to make sure I don't leave any fingerprints or anything over it. And then I'm going to use a Versamark to stamp the other side with my leaf pattern, which has got sort of like vein marks on it. So I have the outer bit, and all I did was I placed the stamp over the top of this, lined it up more or less, and then I can press down on here and get my veins put on. And I'm going to use, move this out of the way, I'm going to use a platinum wow embossing powder. So heat embossing done, and that gives a nice subtle result. It's not too harsh, but it gives a nice bit of shine where it's needed. So I quite like that. I think that's good fun. Now the other thing that you can do if you want to is to take some Versamark and do some embossing around the edges. So you can I'm quite happy with that card front, and all I need now is to put a sentiment on it. I've now put that on a card base, and you'll notice that with this one I've not gone for a layered look, which is quite deliberate. I wanted this to be a pretty simple looking card, and to finish it off I'm going to use espresso truffle and just stamp my sentiment directly onto the card, which is why I'm using the stamp positioner, just in case I need to stamp it more than once. But the espresso is a good dark colour ink without being black. So there we have the finished card, and I said it's a nice one I think for a spring or even autumn depending on the colours you use, and it's just a nice little card that's quick to make and is very flat, so it's not going to cost you a fortune to post it either. The file for the stamps that I used will be in the link below, And if you're into making your own stamps, you can then use it to make the stamp. If not, you can use any other stamps of a similar type that you have already. Take care now. Bye bye.